Welcome back. Today we're going to make frijoles.
¿Me das un libra queso Oaxaca, por favor?
So what is a frijole? Frijole is Spanish for bean, and we are going to be making pinto beans. Making a pot of beans is an essential part of your kitchen knowledge. This is my trifecta for all beans: white beans, red beans, pink beans, black beans. Love, garlic, onion, and bay. If I'm making a Mexican-inspired dish, I will add cumin seeds. You start by soaking your beans overnight in cold water. So my beans have been soaking overnight. I'm just going to drain off the soaking water and add fresh cold water. Put them in my pan with my onion, my garlic, my bay, my cumin seeds. Bring it up to a boil. Once it starts to boil, I'm going to reduce the heat down to about medium low. I just want the beans to bubble and the water to move slightly without boiling so much that it's breaking up the beans, but not cooking them so low that they're just kind of stewing and taking forever. Place your beans in your cooking pot with enough water to cover them by 1.5 inches. Cut your onion in half and place it in. You don't even need to take the paper off. And the same holds true for your garlic. Cut it in half and drop it in your pot. Add your bay leaves and your cumin seeds. Now we're not going to salt the beans at this point, and there is controversy. There's some interesting studies done on whether or not salt inhibits the tenderness in the beans as they cook, if it makes them tough. The evidence is inconclusive. I've always been in the habit of not salting my beans until they're about 80% tender, and I will salt them at that time. And by salting them a little bit earlier than at the end of the cooking process, they actually absorb the salt water, so they get salted all the way through. So that's just my strategy. If you salt your beans beforehand and have not had any problems, leave me a comment and let me know. So I just have been in the habit of that, and it's been my method. So this is it. You put your ingredients in the pot. Turn your heat to high and bring the beans up to a boil. As soon as they start boiling, reduce your heat to medium-low and let them simmer until they're tender. So what does it mean to cook until tender? You can undercook your beans, so they're not chalky, but they're soft and they're holding their shape. The liquid will be clear, and if you use them in a bean salad or something, they will hold up. I personally like my beans to be creamy and falling apart and have this wonderful bean broth that is in the pot that's just thick and unctuous. So I tend to cook my beans longer than is required because I want to achieve that delicious juice. Now you can use a pressure cooker to cook beans, and it cooks beans in just minutes. My argument with the pressure cooker is you don't get that beautiful bean broth. It's watery, and they just don't develop that wonderful juice. So it's up to you. It just depends on how you're going to use them and how you like them. bowl of beans under the broiler for 1 minute just to ensure that that cheese is really nice and melted. If you shred your cheese really fine and your beans are really hot, it may or may not melt on its own, but I just like to ensure that those big nice tangles of Oaxacan cheese get good and melted into the beans. Now I like to finish my beans off with just a little Mexican crema. Once it comes out of the oven, I'll top it with my avocado and my fried jalapeños. A drizzle of olive oil and we're good. Enjoy.